Microphone check 1 2. What is this? It's the 6 Feet of Frustration podcast. Two people again, or two people right now, because this video will come up before the other one with just us. So past us, you were right about, or you were wrong about there being more people after. And that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense. But anyways, I'll have to talk with myself later on about that. Anyways, so in the news, this is some news. Not all the news. Because if we did all the news, I'd have to read things, and I really don't want to do that. Anyways, the biggest topic in the news today and possibly this week and maybe even a couple months, hopefully it'll last longer than this, Derek Chauvin has been found guilty of, I believe, all of the crimes that he was convicted on.
I think so.
Which I believe it was both manslaughter and second-degree manslaughter, and I think a third one that was not, or involuntary. I don't know. Not to.
Guilty.
He was guilty, which is kind of justice. It's not the real justice would be George Floyd would still be alive right now, but it's a small bit of justice.
Well, at least the world didn't burn from the verdict that I'm aware of.
No, it was like it wasn't like the Rodney King beatings back in the day, where all of Los Angeles burned. Well, this one, well, I guess though that was for an innocent verdict, and this would be a guilty verdict. So I guess that kind of.
Well, if this were innocent, there would.
Well, actually, no.
Problems.
We found that actually, white riots are actually worse. They're actually worse and less founded. That's They storm Capitol. They do terrorism.
No, patriotism. Connor.
Patriotism. Yes, you're right.
Get with the system here.
I forgot that invading your own capital is patriotism and not terrorism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to kidnap and kill people. It's all for the good of the state and country and everything.
Man, I wonder if the founding fathers thought something like this would happen ever.
They were traitors, right?
True. So yeah, I guess in a way.
They'd be like, thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh God, I didn't know they were gonna go that far. No. So yeah, here's an interesting thing that I found. I didn't know, but the jury members, it was 6-6, black and white.
Isn't it supposed to be randomized? What are the odds of that?
Well, yeah, but it is. But I think they had to have like a non, a I don't know if they had to, but I think it was kind of just, well, they had to have 100% though. They had to have 100%, complete, Tristan, you've seen 12 Angry Men, you know this, you know.
Yeah, and when I was in a mock jury, I was the one guy.
You were the one guy.
I was.
I was also.
And I swayed everyone.
Actually, no. I was in a mock jury. I was in a mock courtroom. I was a lawyer. Did not go well.
Well, I was able to convince everyone that a very clear murder was not murder. So
see, I had the similar thing, but I had to defend Agamemnon. Yeah, so
it went well.
If you know your Greek history, it was a pretty tall order. Anyways, I think it was Agamemnon. Might have been another guy, but anyways, enough about that. So yeah, I found that interesting. That I thought that was. I don't know. I think that's a good, for the case that it was. I think it was good that it was split like that, because you kind of had like a little bit of an education on both sides of the or you know what I mean. I don't know. But in other news, a little less, I guess, gravitas. Second patch, I believe, or at least second major update for Cyberpunk came out. And having played it, I can tell you the game is still shit. So there's that. We've lost Tristan. Tristan is not saying anything. Tristan has unplugged his mic.
Hello?
There we go.
I've been talking this whole time.
Well, you weren't. I was doing a one-man show up there for everybody.
The entire time?
Yes. From the end of the Derek Chauvin thing into the cyberpunk, I was on my own.
Wow.
And I was like, Tristan, you're giving me the silent treatment here. I'm dying up here.
I don't know why that happened.
Anyways.
Well, I was asking you how Cyberpunk was. Well, your problems were with it. You said it still wasn't good.
All the stuff that bothered me specifically, I'm being very specific, bothered me about at least the game, the things that I came into, was that, and here's the other thing. The stuff that bothered me wasn't fixed, and I felt like the game ran worse than when I played originally. I thought like the things that didn't bother me suddenly bothered me, and the things that were already bothering me still existed. Namely, fighting, the frames still drop when you do hand-to-hand fighting like other people. The frames still drop, which shouldn't be a big problem, except one of like the big missions is like fighting other people, you know, like for becoming the champion or whatever, a brawling or whatever the fuck it's called.
Well, so you need to upgrade systems.
Yeah,
Fix
you're right.
your problem right there.
Go to Xbox Series X.
Got to spend a few $100s to make this game work. Okay, get a Series X.
I got to spend a few $100s on top of the like half $100 that has already been sunk into the game. Yeah, no, but so yeah, and I immediately loaded in, and I was like, oh man, because I didn't really play it when the last patch happened, because I was like, it's probably not going to be great, so I'm going to wait. And I went in, and everything was already jittery. And when I shot people, they stood standing up. And
wow.
Yeah, and when they died, they were standing, and their stuff just dropped from the floor. It was, yeah, I was like, man, I was at like 75%. Like the game wasn't great, all right. I mean, and there's like 25% that was not, specifically not great about the game, and like 75%, I thought that was okay. And now it was just like down to like 50. Like I was just like, I was like, how did they make it run worse? How did fixing it make it worse? I don't know. That's my.
Well, funny enough, I talked to Ethan about Cyberpunk today, and
Ethan legendarily has high opinions on things.
Yeah, and it might surprise you that he says the writing, the story, all of that's great, but the problem is the bugs.
I mean, no,
he thinks it's an amazing game. Is the story and writing good to you?
Yes, the story, the overall plot and structure of the game, I think is good. Like I'll shit on the game's mechanics and all that shit all the day long, whatever. But the actual like story of the game is solid, and I think works fundamentally, and it makes sense, and it's enjoyable. Like you kind of want to see where it's going to lead, as it goes along. And there's good side missions too, and there's and solid stuff. Writing is good, the voice acting is good, all that stuff is great. I mean, Keanu Reeves is a little wooden at times, but I mean, it's Keanu Reeves. He's kind of just in the game to be himself or whatever.
And he's the reason the game got money.
Pretty much.
Not the reason, but he was a big reason.
Yeah, and it's pretty. But it's just the mechanics of the game are kind of just drudgery most of the time, and of course the bugs and things. So doesn't it? But I think if they had spent time on it, or I don't want to say that. They spent
they spent years.
But I think if they had focused on making a compatible game for all consoles or whatever, and things, and kind of not just gone overboard for the newest consoles, I think it probably would have been a little bit better for them. But
yeah, they either should have made both good and wait, or just make the game for the new systems. At the point.
I don't know. I don't think they could have done that with all the.
It's just too damaging of what.
The amount of delays, I don't think they could have just held it off until for just the new consoles. It was pretty much like they were.
I'm saying beforehand, once they saw how slow production was, they should have just dropped working on old gen and just focus on the new stuff.
I mean, yeah, that would have been removed, but I think they kind of needed the money from everybody.
They had a lot of pre-order money.
They did have a lot of pre-order money, but you need actual money. You need like money that actually goes directly to you, that you have physically, that is actually you own. It can't be refunded, even though we found out that it could be refunded.
Oh yeah, and it's still not on the PlayStation Store. I don't think. I think they're still mad because what was it? CD Project Red, right?
yeah, CD Projekt Red.
They
We
issued
should have known. We should have known. CD.
yeah, CD.
It was gonna be, there was sus already.
They ordered the refunds, but they didn't talk to Sony about it. So Sony kind of shut them out. So see how
They
that
like
goes.
doing that. They like doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's their platform. They love screwing everyone.
Listen, you don't fuck with Godzilla, okay? That's what Sony is. Sony is Godzilla.
Well, unless you're Team Chase, where he votes for Kong.
Well, Kong is Warner Brothers, or no, Kong is no, Universal doesn't exist anymore. Universal is owned by Sony, I think.
Really? I don't
They don't exist
think so.
anymore, though. Or they're Fox. Nobody knows anymore. Nobody
Disney
knows.
has Fox. I think Universal's still Universal. They got Universal Studios and stuff still.
You're right. I just haven't seen them make a movie in a long time. I haven't seen the Universal logo in a very long time.
Same. At least for new things.
Hmm.
I just saw the logo a couple weeks ago. Nothing new.
Nothing. Yeah, not a new thing.
Chase is showing me a new movie, another Tom Hanks one. I don't know why he's trying to show me those.
Because Tom Hanks is America's dad.
It's true. Splash. I haven't seen Splash before.
Is that an 80s or a 90s Tom Hanks movie?
I think he said 84. I think that's the year he said.
I think I've only seen Big from the 80s. That's about the only one. And I've seen a bit of The Man with the Red Shoe. That's about it.
Well, Big was good. I liked that. Splash, so far halfway through it, boring. Tom Hanks's character is not a character. The mermaid is not much of a character either. I
feel like at a certain point Tom Hanks gave up and he was like, I'm not acting anymore. I'm just being Tom Hanks and stuff. I'm just being.
I was about to say that with John Candy's in it. He's just John Candy. He's
well, he never had like an act. He was just, I don't know. He's always like the same guy in like everything he's ever in, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that that's a bad thing, because I mean, most of the stuff he's in he's really good in. But it's just, he's not like, you never see like a really, I don't know, like I can't even explain it,
He hasn't really had a serious role. You could say like
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
It was comedy, and at the end they inserted, there's a serious undertone.
Yeah.
But that was at the end. The entire movie is not like that.
Well, he died fairly early in life, so I mean, didn't really get to do. I mean, I'm just saying,
it's not a lot of movies.
He wasn't a lot, yeah. But Tristan, there's a thing in Hollywood, and it's true for most things. If you're fat, you can never be serious. You have to be
telling that to
funny.
Let me think.
Philip Seymour Hoffman would be a good one to go with in this argument, Tristan. Philip Seymour Hoffman,
the guy from Green Mile. He's not skinny. He was bulky, big bulky. He wasn't
black
fat,
guy.
Though. Yeah, he wasn't fat. He was just big.
No, he wasn't. No, he was big. Yeah, he was perfect for that role, though. God, that's an awesome movie.
Good minus the magic.
You don't like the magic part? That's like that makes
the worst part.
That makes the movie.
I liked it up to that part.
It's a Jesus allegory.
Terrible. Horrible. Let me suck the cancer out of you or whatever. Oh, okay.
Hey, if they called it a miracle, you'd be fucking loving that, wouldn't you?
Well, calling it a miracle instead of magic?
Yeah. Because magic, you think, when I think of magic, I think Chris Angel. But miracle, you get you know, Jesus Christ or whatever.
A miracle is just religious magic. Okay, that's all I gotta say in
Well,
this context. No, I dropped off at that point.
speaking of,
Not enjoy it.
you know, speaking of fat people in movies, no. No, I'm just
Melissa
saying.
McCarthy came out with a superhero movie recently that a lot of people don't like.
I thought a lot of people like that movie, the show. Is it a movie or is it a show?
It's a movie.
It's been a while since I've been on Netflix, so I'm not really up on.
All the stuff I've seen on it is just negative. Man, maybe it's good. I haven't seen anything good on it though.
I like. Well, okay. Here's my take on that because I have seen a little bit on that, but I was not enough that I could tell whether it was a show or a movie. Apparently, but Jason Bateman's in it. You know, as the villain. That's a.
Well, the premise I think of the movie was all the bad people in the world got superpowers. So the only superpower people were villains, but the two main characters got swayed or something to be
Swayed.
good guys while having bad guy powers. I don't
That's
know.
so. Well, that's a confusing ass plot for this.
I think that's the plot. I haven't looked into it too much, but
I like
believe
the
it is.
idea they're going with, being, you know, presenting heroes that are not conventional.
Mhm.
I like that, but I also think that people don't, that the masses of people, that you got to kind of have to give them.
If you're going for a superhero movie, you have to fit what a superhero
Okay, well that's not fair.
kind of
You can't just say,
appears.
I
don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I
Okay,
get what you're saying, and I agree. That stuff's good and all, but
I'm trying to be non-biased here.
non-biased.
Non,
This is
I'm
a
trying to be.
biased podcast.
Yeah, you're right. We're very heavily. Okay, if I'm not going to be a hypocrite, I'm going to totally speak my mind on everything or whatever. Here's what I'll say. I don't like it.
There you go.
I don't like it. I'm sure there's people out there that will like it. I personally, I doesn't interest me. If I'm watching a superhero thing, I want to see super people. I don't really want to see Melissa McCarthy in like a jet suit or something. That'll be my. That's
right
a hot
you.
take. That's a hot take. Okay.
Hot take without having seen it.
Hot take without having seen it and commenting on how much I probably wouldn't like it. But
speaking of Melissa McCarthy, she's always the same character as well. It's like John Candy.
no, she did something. She did something.
Anytime she's serious, it's the same serious, and then
Okay,
it's just her same comedy.
I've only seen her in like a couple. My mom loved her for a while. She thought she was.
Yeah, my mom watches like all of her stuff.
I mean, she's very funny. She's a very funny lady.
Yeah, but I like a good character and a good funny character.
You want someone with range, is what you're saying. You want somebody who can be a different kind of serious and can be a different kind of funny.
Yeah. A funny book with words. That's it.
So you don't want a Chris Farley. You want like a Phil Hartman or a.
You're saying names.
Okay, Chris Farley. I don't know. Chris Farley. Chris Farley was like. Okay, Tristan, do you know who John Belushi is?
No.
The Blues Brothers.
Okay.
The fat one.
All right.
Chris Farley was like the John Belushi of like the late 80s and early 90s. And he was like on SNL, and he was a big fat guy. I mean, he was like fatter. I don't want to say fat. I feel like I'm saying fat too much. But anyways.
Obese. Even though I think.
No, he wasn't obese because he was actually like, he was a fairly graceful guy, but he was just very
overweight.
Big. He was overweight. He was a large man, okay? But he was, I mean, he could dance. He was very light on his feet for his size, you know, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he was fairly athletic. But anyways, he was a big guy, husky. And so he would always, you know, be doing comedies and stuff, you know, as the big guy. As, you know, the kind of, you know, fat guy who would be, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and I think after a while that kind of, you know, but he also, here's an interesting thing, he was originally going to be in Shrek. He was going to be Shrek. And that was actually written for him.
I can't see anyone but what's his name?
Mike
The
Myers.
Shrek. Mike Myers. That's it.
Donkey.
Don't get out of my swamp.
Swamp. Yeah. Well, yeah. See that he's just. I mean, probably it's a bigger movie because of Mike Myers.
Probably.
I think it would have been. I think it still would have been a good movie with Chris Farley. I've seen a little bit of test footage, and I think it would have been probably a good vehicle for him to kind of get more into serious kind of territory. But I mean, that's kind of like where he was pretty much the same person in every movie. You know, he's like the. In fact, they did 2 movies. Him and David Spade. They did Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, where he's basically the same person in every movie. They're but I mean, that's comedy. It's when you're focusing on comedy, you kind of become typecast.
Like a caricature, I guess.
Speaking of movies, and that I watched The Exorcist for the first time recently.
The Exorcist?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it.
The original blockbuster
original
horror movie.
And was it worth getting reboots and all that stuff?
Not that scary.
That's well.
I was sitting there waiting.
Is older.
I will say there's one really gross scene though that still to this day is gross. And
all right.
There's so it's all about the little girl getting possessed or whatever by Pazuzu, which is
a great name.
That's which is a real demon, but it's like not like a demon, like a Eastern religion demon kind of whatever. Has no basis in Christianity or whatsoever. But anyways, I digress. She's possessed and she's like fully finally possessed where like she's like not her anymore. She's like the demon or whatever.
Yeah.
She's having like a fucking freak out and she takes a crucifix and starts inserting it into herself. And of course she's like 12 or 13 or whatever, the character. I mean, I think the girl is at the same, so this is gross. This is disgusting. Why am I saying this? So she has her hymen still.
Oh, okay.
So there's blood and she's just like, get fucked, let Jesus fuck you. Fuck. Jesus, let Jesus, whatever. And so it's disgusting. And then she like slams her mom's face into her crotch that's like blood and she has blood all over her face. It's gross. It was the one scene where I knew it was coming and I didn't want to watch. I was just like, this is disgusting.
It sounds like Robot Chicken levels of
comedy. That was like the grab you of that movie where they had to like, well, it's not really there's no blood. Where's the blood? We have to have blood. Well, it's a demonic possession. There's not really blood. Well, there has to be blood. So like, okay. What if she fucked herself with a crucifix or something and then they threw that in there?
That's something.
So Tristan, I mean, that disturbed and grossed me out.
Now I know I need to watch that tonight.
Yeah, you gotta watch. Yeah. But I will say though, you will hate the movie because there was something, and I was like, oh my god, I'm Tristan right now.
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
Gets possessed, and they never explain it. They don't go into any detail how it's happened, how the hell it's connected to this other priest or whatever. Nothing. It just happens.
Things just happen, Connor.
I know, and I was like,
demons and stuff, whatever they want.
It just seemed like such a big thing that it would have been great if they had some sort of explanation.
Well, maybe the remake would do that.
Yeah, but they're gonna have that cool soundtrack, Tubular Bells. That's not the theme, but I can't. It's really weird. I can't remember the meter on the top of my head. I don't know.
Are you just gonna go watch a bunch of scary movies now?
I've just been watching a lot of movies that I've kind of been on my radar for a while and are finally being on streaming and stuff. So I'm trying to get them while I can. Watched. What did I watch? I watched a bunch of stuff recently. I watched a Bruce Willis and I think it's Damian Wayans or one of the Wayans brothers in a movie. That was pretty cool. I would explain it, but I want to show it to you and Chase because it has a great intro.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Write it down.
Write it down. But anyways, yeah, I've just been trying to watch a lot of movies and get exposure.
Yeah, me too. Kind of the opposite of your streaming thing. I actually started watching the DVDs we have
We have a
because
lot because you have a
it's been a
lot of
while.
DVDs.
Yeah.
But the audience doesn't know he has. Is it one or two bookshelves?
I got two. Yeah.
Two bookshelves that are completely filled with all
And
kinds of DVDs.
we just got a third because we've gotten a lot more movies recently.
And there's ones stacked on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So I've seen 3 in the past week. All I've seen before, but not a long time.
You gotta just dip your toes in,
Secret Agent Cody Banks. Boom. Or Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Yeah. I still liked it. Still the bad guy death. Still very dark for a kids movie. Freaking feed him some nanobots and see him dissolve and get eaten from the inside out. So that's good.
You gotta do that.
Yeah. Saw Looney Tunes back in action.
Classic.
Still good.
Mm-hmm.
Still very funny. They don't make that anymore. There were so many jokes towards itself. It's great.
Oh, because I mean, you have to. I feel like anytime you're kind of doing something like that, where you got to be self-reflective. And
well, yeah. Remember the part in the desert where Walmart was there? They just kept talking about Walmart. Like, I wonder how much we'll get advertising money or whatever based off how many times we're saying Walmart. That's funny. And then I saw Haunted Mansion.
I keep wanting to rewatch Haunted Mansion. That was like one of the things I kind of, when I had Disney Plus for like the free trial month or whatever, I was like, man, I really want to watch Haunted Mansion because I remember loving that movie as a kid. And it actually, as a kid, it actually scared me a little bit.
Oh, was there any particular scene?
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was so much anything from the movie, like a scene in the movie necessarily. I mean,
just the idea of a haunted house.
Yeah, or like ghosts and things, and they could actually like affect you, kind of. You know what I mean? Like that sort of. I think it was a combination of that and a bunch of like old Tales from the Crypt and shit that my parents would watch, and for whatever reason would have me as like a 7 or 8-year-old kid with them when they watched them. Well, that scene
I wanted
with the skeletons or the ghosts that are pulling like the little girl because she's trying to get like the thing.
Yeah,
that was
like the best makeup I've ever seen for like a zombie skeletal thing. It looked awesome. But I was surprised how much I remembered of that movie because last time I saw that it was on VHS.
Yeah.
So that was a long time.
I think I might have. I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think that would have been a little. I wouldn't have been able to by that point.
It came out in 2003, so it would have been pretty little.
Well, the first movie I can remember seeing in theaters was Treasure Planet, and I don't know when that came out. So if it was, before that, I didn't see it in theaters then.
I don't know. I can't even think of what my first movie in theater would be.
I think I just remember it because it was. I don't know. It's just kind of that. I mean, that maybe that's a sign that I was meant to make movies or something. I don't know. Because I actually remember it in my brain or whatever, and I can't remember much of anything else.
I mean, I just remember a VeggieTales movie in theaters.
Oh, I saw a VeggieTales movie in theaters.
And some kid pulled the fire alarm and we didn't finish.
Well, those that would know, I might have seen 2 VeggieTales movies in theater. One of them was, I think, well, it's kind of weird because when you're at that young age, you kind of misremember things, or things kind of clash together. Because I went to like not a Catholic, but like a Christian, like not elementary school, but like kindergarten or whatever. And at the end of the day, we'd watch, like a preschool, and we would watch like 90s kids movies and VeggieTales and shit. And I remember we might have seen, but I also remember like we did field trips and stuff, but I don't think we would have gone to a movie theater. So, and I don't think that we saw like it was like a Noah's Ark or whatever special VeggieTales or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a
Well,
movie
would
level
your
movie.
parents have taken you to see VeggieTales in theaters?
Oh no! When I definitely know I saw a VeggieTale movie in theaters, it was with one of my friends who was really religious,
Okay.
and so they wanted to go see this movie. I think it was the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything or whatever. That
Parents who don't do
thing.
anything.
Yeah, that was a
Oh.
weird. So we can both say we've seen a VeggieTale movie in theaters.
Yeah, we can be one of those people. I don't even know if Trace has seen one in theaters.
Yeah, he'd be the perfect candidate to see one in theaters though. He was
Yeah, he would.
more religious than either of us. And now we
Well,
just blaspheme all day
yeah,
long.
he hasn't been to church in a while. Now I think about it. Maybe we've changed him.
Well, he doesn't like waking up on Sundays.
Well, he doesn't have his parents to drag him out of the
Yeah,
house.
exactly. Most people they go to church because their parents go to church. It's kind of how it usually works. And then once they don't like, wait, I don't have to go somewhere on Sunday. I'm not gonna go then.
I mean that was me. Parents took me, and then I converted them. I converted them out of it.
Yeah. Thankfully, my dad was Catholic and went to Catholic school, and hated it so much that he was like, "Yeah, you're never gonna have to go to church or go, not gonna do that ever."
Yeah, I took the bullets for you.
Yeah,
good.
he got like slapped in the back of the hand with rulers and things.
All the classics.
I can't remember
The
if it was him.
paddleboard with the holes in it. Oh, the whole nine.
I don't think he had that, but he might have. I can't remember if it was him or if it was one of his brothers, my uncles. They saw a nun die, get electrocuted.
What?
There was, I think, I can't remember the story. It just came to me, I was just like, oh, that's right. He told me that story. It was, I think there was something, like the lights were off or whatever, and I think one of the nuns like got hit by like a stray wire or wire fell or whatever and zapped her, and I'm pretty sure she died.
Wow.
And it was in front of like the whole class and everything. Yeah, it was.
That's dark. And God was not there that day.
Or was he?
Oh,
maybe she was a bad. Yeah, she was a bad nun. He
wanted to see her in person.
Yeah, bad nun. Bad nun. Woo-doo-doo-doo. No.
No.
I never know. But speaking of my dad, he for a month, a little over a month, he had this like thing on his arm that just looked disgusting.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It was like a probably about like that size. About that size. Like maybe a little bit smaller than like a nickel.
All right.
Nickel sized. You can picture that in your mind. On like his right there, like on his arm, kind of a little bit behind it. And my mom kept telling him, you should go to the doctor and get that checked out. It doesn't look right. He was like, yeah, whatever. And he tried, and like it wasn't too gross, but then he like took like a razor blade to it, tried to like cut it open, and because he thought it was like an ingrown hair or something. And he pulled out.
I don't think it would have been that big.
And he pulled out like it was like a webbing inside. That's how he described it. And then it like healed over, but it healed over. It became like this. The scab was like white, like white, and it like congealed over and like became like over his skin, sort of.
Huh.
And so finally, we were like, finally, my mom was she'd had enough, and she was like, "You got to go. We're gonna set you up an appointment for the doctor or whatever." So we did it, and he goes. I think it was last week. And he goes in, and the doctor's like, "I have no idea what this is. I'm gonna send you to a dermatologist."
Okay. The webbing part, I'm just still stuck on that.
I don't know if he was like, I don't know what he meant by like webbing, but that's just what he said. I wasn't there for when he cut it open, thank God, but because it looked disgusting. And so He goes to a dermatologist, and they're like examining it and everything, and then they gave him some like general anesthesia, and they just like
Mhm.
sliced it right off, like straightways along the skin, and they take it for a sample
Mhm.
because they had no idea what it was.
All right.
And I was just like, that is amazing. You've become like a medical phenomenon for whatever reason. So they're gonna run some tests on it and figure out what the hell it was, and then
No, I have to wait. You
yeah,
don't
well,
have the
we're going
result.
back in on the 4th to because they were like, either way, whatever we figure out what it is, they're gonna have to go in there and kind of like dig out like all like
All
this,
the webbing.
not the webbing, but just like the shit that's in of what's left of it, because they just cut it along the straight, and he's gonna need some stitches and things, and so my dad's a
Wow.
medical phenomenon now.
They'll be able to name whatever it is after him.
If it, yeah. Well, he was like, well, because I started laughing because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you actually had something that they had no idea what it was. And he was like, well, no, they thought it might have been this or that, so they're gonna. And I was like, oh, wait, well, when I tell the story, I'll say the other one, and it'll be funnier.
I mean, oh my God, I hate that you said the story without an end, Connor.
Well,
I
it
have to
was a good.
wait.
I liked that he was a a, a medical phenomenon. I just like,
Yeah, you'd think everything would have been found by now.
yeah.
No?
Well, I mean, COVID.
I mean, COVID existed before.
Yeah, but I mean,
We knew about COVID. It just jumped to us.
wait, Tristan, that's some uh, that's some classified document.
Classified
That's like a freaking conspiracy. There,
conspiracy.
we didn't know about
Ah,
COVID.
yes, we did.
We didn't know. No, Tristan, the president said we didn't know anything about COVID.
Oh, that's right. The president that
The president.
before he became president said he would never lie to you.
I don't know. Oh,
That's right.
burying the hatchet really late in this. I got the first dose of my vaccine.
Oh yeah, I have that on my things to do schedule. The
I wouldn't
vaccine.
have gotten it if my mom didn't schedule it for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things like we're hermits. We're not getting much
No,
exposure to the outside.
I go out and I buy groceries. That's about it. And that's like
Same.
once a week,
It's
maybe.
every other week for me,
Hmm.
at least for grocery shopping.
Yeah, I go and like get like some snacks or something, but I'm trying to get out a little bit more now just because it's nice and sunshine and stuff.
Yeah, nice and hot. A good reason to stay
Yeah, this would
indoors, you
probably be the
know?
end of the two-piece suit for a little bit. Um, nah, no, it was fine. I mean, my arm was sore for like 2 days, but that was just like natural, getting a shot or whatever soreness really.
Yeah, you're not getting any additional toes or anything?
No, not yet. But I'm probably being tracked by the government now.
That's right. Now everything you do is going to be a record. What? Oh no. See, that's the thing. All the crazy people who are like, oh, it's got government chips. Who cares? Even
Yeah,
if it was.
yeah. They
What's the
already
problem?
know, if you own a phone, they already know where you are. It doesn't, it's not like getting a shot. It's gonna
They
really.
know where you are. The speaker's always on. They can always hear you. I
They're
mean,
like, well, no, it's gonna be like a mind control.
that's right. A mind control chip. I didn't
Yeah,
consider that.
yeah,
You
mind
know what?
control. It
They
takes you,
programmed that already. I haven't even taken the vaccine
takes
and I'm
all of
already
it.
under control. Oh,
My dog just came in here.
I don't
Yeah,
see him
no,
now.
he left. Yeah, well, he left. He just came along the way over here.
Bring him a
Last,
shot next time.
yeah, last look. Yeah, no, he doesn't need any more attention. He's a big baby already. Oh, we took him to the vet. He's been doing this. This will be the last point because then we got to wrap up. Part ways.
All right.
But to the story. So we took him. He's been scratching like really badly for the past like probably two weeks, maybe.
Is it spring dry skin?
Well, that's what we were like. We weren't really sure because he kind of scratches like off and on, kind of. He's got anxiety, so we figured it was probably something to do with that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And spring's coming around, so we set up an appointment for him, as well as a bath, just in case it was, it might be that. But like in the the 4 or 5 days before that, that was gonna happen, it got worse, and he like scratched so much on like one armpit, like most of like his hair was gone. It
Ooh,
was like red, and yeah, it was just like bad. And so we were like, yeah, we gotta figure out what it is.
it doesn't sound like fleas if he's just
No,
going
no,
after one spot
no.
constantly.
Every time a dog starts itching or a cat itches, it's like, oh, is it fleas?
It's
Fleas?
possible.
Possible. Uh, anyway, so they took. I can't remember all the medical jargon and shit because it's mainly dog based and not. It's weird. They use different terms for when a dog has a rash versus when a human has.
Yeah.
But basically, I figure we're not sure, or if they put it in there. I didn't see it of how he might have gotten it, but it's like a fungus or something, or a bacteria,
Mhm.
like an infection. And so now we have to use this with antibiotic. We got him on antibiotics. We have to spray him with like this conditioner spray, 3 coats once a day to help clear up the area itself.
Mhm.
And got to bath him like once a week with this special shampoo.
Did they say what could have caused the bacteria stuff, or just
I
just
don't think
happens?
they no, I think they just it was kind of one of those things that was just like something that happened, I think, or that he picked up, or he might
Mm.
have had and we didn't know, whatever, kind of thing. Which I was amazed that but so he's got like discoloration and his skin has kind of thickened a little bit. It's like Elephant Man. And they were like, and then like the end of it, they were like the discoloration and I don't know if it was just the discoloration or if it was both that and the skin, thickness thing or whatever, would likely be permanent for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So 2 years.
Wow.
I said that and my mom was instantly very upset. He's a fucking 8-year-old dog. He probably no. He's probably got like 6 or 8 more years left in him. Our luck.
Oh, luck.
You don't know. He's a menace. Yes, you are. You're a menace.
And he's not talking back.
Well, that's because I got this thing. This thing. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want to endorse it because we're not gonna get endorsed.
No, okay.
It's a subsonic swatch.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's a good point to end. This will be the longest podcast we've ever done, probably. No, we did a 15-minute one early on. You guys never heard it though.
Yeah.
And Chase wants me to do something with all those audio ones, and I said no.
You
What?
still have them, right?
Yeah, I still have. What am I gonna fucking do with them? Really? What are we gonna put them up?
Yeah, it's a podcast.
They barely want to watch this. They barely want to watch. They barely want to watch. I'm using the word watch. They barely want to watch this, let alone listen. Just listen to this. You're taking out one half of the excitement. It's these colorful outfits we have.
Yeah, that's what draws in the views right there.
Listen, I was naked once. Okay, I know what works here.
You were in a dress.
I was in a dress, which again, wearing a dress itself was not funny. Me wearing a dress was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Clarify. All right. We'll see you next week. And in the meantime, stay safe, get vaccinated, don't believe the conspiracy theorists, and please wear a fucking mask. Grr. Bye.